In this video, I wanted to take some time to talk about one of the tragedies of our time, and that is fatherless homes. It is an undeniable statistic that fathers have a dramatic impact on how a child is raised. Unfortunately, we are living in an era where basically our society has tried to kick fathers out of the home, and there's many things that have happened because of it. I mean, we live in a society now where nearly almost half of the kids here in the United States, it's well over 40% if you look the numbers up, that are born and raised by single mothers. And you get into some demographics, that number is even higher. There are some demographics to where you're looking as high as 80%, all the way up to almost 90% in some cases. And when we see this happening to any society, we are seeing a society that is on the verge of collapse. I mean, that is just the way that it is. You know, God intended for a man and a woman to be joined together in marriage and to raise their family. And yes, I know things happen, that there are accidents that take a father, that there are other things that happen that remove the father from the home. Unfortunately, what we see in our time, what the majority of it is basically irresponsibility. You know, people that are just not mature enough, no matter their age, they wish to give in to lust. They wish to give in to what they want to do, what feels good to them. And then the next thing you know, a child is born, a child that is then raised by a single mother, or even in many cases, a growing fat in this day and age is they're being raised by their grandparents because the parents are just not taking any interest, while at the same time they're going out and doing whatever they want to do. And that's an unfortunate tragedy. And it's hard to, I guess you could say, speak out against it in many ways because of the fact that people are, they want to accuse Christians of being judgmental. But the reality is, you might as well just wear that badge as a badge of honor, because the fact is, that's what they're always going to say. If we don't stand up for morality, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you have declining morals within any nation, then this is what happens. You have kids that, for no fault of their own, that suffer. The irresponsibility of a parent is felt first by the child. That is the reality of how things have always been. When a father is not active in the life of their kids, then that child is going to grow up with a messed up view of how that relationship should be between a father and a child. And as a dad myself, I know what it is to have to work two jobs. I know what it is to have to spend just a lot of time working. But at the same time, those kids see that in a father. They see what a father's responsibility is. And that is to be passed along. In any society where there is a lapse of morals, decay of society, you can always trace it back to the breakdown of the home. And in the breakdown of the family structure, that traditional family structure, that is where government began, because when you have multiple families coming together, they form a community, and that community will then form a government of some sort. And when you destroy the foundations, you then destroy the overall community. And the foundation of every society is that strong nuclear family. You know, and I've talked about this. I've got an article actually on my website. I'll link it below. You guys can go over and check it out, because it talks a little more about it. It gets more into the details. And it's an older article, but it is still one that is worth reading. But the reality is, guys, we as Christians have got to be willing to stand up and say that is wrong. It is wrong for people to go out and act irresponsible and have kids that they don't want to raise. And at the same time, that does not mean that they can go out and just butcher them for no reason whatsoever. Okay. People need to be held accountable and will be one day for their actions. That's the reality for the world. That's the reality of everything around us. But guys, I hope you liked the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. The Christians need to stand up for what is right. Okay, they're going to hate us anyways, so stand up for what is right. What the Lord told us, he said they hated him first, they're going to hate you. Accept it. Stand up for what is right anyways. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Like and share. Subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time.